So the other weekend I had my front passenger side CV boots rupture, which probably isn't surprising since the boot itself is 38 years old. So I figure while I'm replacing my CVs, I'll swap out the fronts with a couple new ones. In the meantime, I'll also take off the control arms and press out and press in some new lower control arm bushings, just because they're 38 years old. I'll swap out the ball joints. Once it has a torn boot, but they're not loose or wiggling. I'll replace the leading arm bushings. It's kind of like the bushings and almost like the leading arm of a radius arm of a twin I-beam Ford pickup, Bronco. And I'll swap out the rear boots for the rear half shafts, because you can't find new rear half shafts, or they're very difficult to find. So I'll just swap out the boots. I'd rather get this thing mechanically sound and not worry about the body. That's why I call it Mr. Dents. Alright, drive side, rear. Not a mechanic, my first time doing this. Alright. On a roll pin, good. I'm sure that would probably be the only easy one. It's always that way. Second roll pin, very nice. Alright, well, the manual says just pop off now. Let's see if that's true or not. Alright, cleaning up the half shafts. See, these actually come apart quite easy. Just little snap rings, and they come right off the shaft. Got the balls contained in there, and that's when it's still assembled. So I'll get these things cleaned up and repacked and rebooted. Yeah, okay. Alright, hello everybody. So, I'm going to attempt to put back together my Subaru BRAT rear port and starboard half shafts. And I was kind of thinking about it, that these EA 81 motors, I think, put out like less than 70 horsepower. So these axles probably took very little horsepower. I mean, each of these axles had a support probably about the horsepower of a a good riding lawnmower, which wasn't very much. All right. So I have this marked for the what did I have these marked as? Yeah, so this is the wheel side, this is the outside. I took these to work today and cleaned them up in our wash tank and everything like that. But these are extremely simple. I was really impressed by the simple engineering on these. And these have lasted 38 years. I mean, all I'm doing is putting new boots on these things after 38 years of use. So it's kind of impressive, actually. This is the inboard side, and yeah. So this is my first time doing this. Taking apart was actually very simple. Putting things together is, always more difficult. Okay, where to start? Well. So these went on like that. And then these, I don't think there's a front and rear of these. These are just nice little pieces. And they're so unworn after so many years of use. Granted, this vehicle is, until I got my hands on it, because I drove around four-wheel drive all the time. That's what I do with this thing, but I'm sure these are mostly just being unpowered in the two-wheel drive mode. Okay. Make sure these are. I want to make sure these snap rings are in good. Sure, I'll go and edit all the nonsense out of this later on. Make sure these are seated in good. Okay. Alright. So I think I'm going to start putting some of the grease in this now before I pop the balls in. Now, slide out the grease. So how's this going to work? Yeah, let's pop the grease in, put these in there, and I put the little snap ring in. Do these come with snap rings? Oh yeah, they got snap rings. So, I hope this is the right kit. It sure seems like it. Yeah. Yeah, okay. Nice. Alright, so this will be the rear, the back side. This will be up here. Long day at work today. Went to the gym. Medicated. Okay. So let's see what we got here. Put the balls in, snap them in. Put these in. Got the snap rings. These actually look like the right size snap rings too. Very nice. Alright. Okay. Yeah, give me a little pair of scissors. Do I have scissors? Work. Okay. So fill these up with a little bit of grease. So, I'm guessing what I probably should have done first was put the boot on, but I guess it doesn't matter because I didn't put that side on yet, so I can slide it up over. So that works. Okay. Let me fill this up with some grease first. I want to have some music playing, but at the same time, that will be distracting. push that, get it to squish out between the balls. I was watching people do these videos of redoing their CV shafts. These are completely different than ones I've seen because these are, these are old technology, I'm sure, but God, they're so effective. But them talking about squishing grease between their balls and keeping a straight face was pretty impressive. Alright, so I'll stick this in there. I can't help from laughing. Okay. Yeah. All right. All right. So, slide this down. Slide this down. Oh my gosh. Alright, and before I get it down too firm, I'll squeeze the rest of this grease in there, then I'll clean this up a bit. Oh, I gotta put the snap ring in there too, don't I? Clean my hands a little bit. Now, don't be too impressed with that. It was shot at like 25 yards, but with iron sights, with an AK on a bench rest, so it's nothing to be terribly impressed about. So I gotta put this in there. To the groove, good. There's a little divot for this thing to lock into right there. Okay. And this. Alright, very cool. How does this work? This is adjustable. What I get for buying cheap stuff. Either cheap stuff or just stuff I don't know how to use correctly. Because I never had to use it before. Yeah, so it is movable. Okay. Makes a little more sense now, maybe. Okay, so this thing's got to come down. Yeah, so this thing is adjustable. It's just cheap. Okay. Just cheap. Yeah, it's a bit more like it. Yeah, there we go. All right. Okay. All right, now the little end. I'll have to trim this maybe. Yeah, trim this a lot. So it's going to come around. Hook's over there. So probably, let's see from here back, I'm going to trim that off. Let's go here to be on the safe side. Kink out here. Try right there. Still okay. Okay, update. I was able to squeeze out the bushing out of my control arm. Doing the ball joint as well. Old bushing, new bushing. Reality is, this probably didn't need to get replaced. It's frozen right now, about -60 to help me install it. I'm going to freeze it again. This one really wasn't that bad of shape for being 38 years old. However, that's just me. So I did it by using a 1 5/16 socket, cut a nub out of it, because there's a little bit of a weld. There, and this nub fits in there nicely for a perch. So something to press into. Then I used a what's it, 21? Yeah, 21 mil socket and pushed right through. Took the metal. So I froze the whole control arm to about -60 Fahrenheit. I got one of those freezers. And then put my socket on there in a 100-ton press. Heated this up with some MAP gas. And pushed it right out. So I'm hoping I'm going to be able to reverse the process Get that frozen, warm this up just a bit, and press it right back in. Just doing some updates. New ball joints, brand spanking new manufacturer, half shafts, port and starboard side. So I was getting those in. Also got new suspension bushings. Ouch! Yeah. So swing arms nice and tight like a tiger. New tie rod inners. I thought they said they replaced the outers. That's the only work that I didn't do personally. I didn't do the outers, I don't think. But they're so tight, and I just had an alignment done. So, yeah. Quick update. New bushings. New bushings. Strangely enough, the old bushings weren't even that bad. Yes, zip ties, don't judge me. Oh my gosh, that was such a nightmare.